The world's hype train is at full speed with no signs of stopping. Whether teams are playing viciously for a chance to hold the Summoner's Cup for a few minutes at the end of the tournament, or to just simply ruin everyone's pick'ems, we have arguably seen some of the most exciting League of Legends games as of late. So let's talk about the stars of the tournament. We have LCK's fan favorite T1 making a comeback after their brief absence, and this time with a refurbished roster featuring Faker front and center. And that's not just because he's a mid laner. North America's Cloud9 surprised everyone as they came in with, well, the usual expectations for LCS teams, to not really make it out of groups. But the collective hopium inhalation was in fact so high that they got the fuel to run over every single thing that came their way, except, well, that one. Representing the LEC, we have these guys. Our homegrown unkillable machines and Turkish stage beast managed to send half of the audience watching their series versus LNG straight to the hospital. To those who survived the heart attack, welcome to SK Gaming's YouTube channel. T1 wasn't happy with just making it to quarterfinals, they wanted blood, so well, they took down 100 Thieves with them. Kicking an A out of their group, the LCK representatives managed to make the dream match between T1 and Mad Lions one step closer if we can beat DK. We can beat DK, right? Some say the game was doomed from the start the moment they allowed Faker to get his hands on Zoe. But jokes aside, both sides played very carefully. As for 100 Thieves, elimination was on the table, and for T1, their ticket to semifinals was at stake. The game ended with very few kills on both ends compared to everything else we've seen at Worlds, and T1 absolutely out-macroed the foe.
Take down the mid lane inhibitor, and they will push forward for the end.
Fighting for the last spot in Group A, this game felt like the final battle between EU and NA, even though now we know that the final battle will be Worlds 2021 finals between C9 and MAD, right? If keeping your audience for about 50 minutes of high-action League of Legends is not considered keeping hostages, well, I think it should be.
53 minutes was a deciding factor in this game for Cloud9 to seal the deal and shoot themselves straight into the quarterfinals. They left Rogue with only one inhibitor into their own base, and Cloud9 headed straight for that Elder Dragon buff. Now Rogue were faced with a big decision to make. Do they allow the buff to go over to C9 and lose later on in a team fight, or do they face check this? And they went with option number 2, which was the only one that could prove to be the winning factor for Rogue, making a pick onto Cloud9, trying to stall the game a little bit longer, but it is so difficult to face check into an Alistar and Wukong who can double knock up and allow the rest of the damage dealers from Cloud9 to seal the deal. Larsen, with a 5-man ult into the brush, is met by Vulcan's 5-man knockup into Fudge's 3-man knockup, and Sven and Perks were absolutely untouched in the backline. Perks even seals the deal by getting the last kill onto the Odo Amne and allowing his 4-man team that's remaining to finish and seal the deal for Cloud9, taking them straight into the quarterfinals.
Take a look at the skill Perks had on Odo Amne and how the game went from there. Cloud9 made history, securing the first ever tiebreaker win over a European team at Worlds. Not to mention, this is the first time since 2018 that an LCS team continues past groups, thus delaying the ride to the nearest airport. Okay, I'm not implying it's only a matter of time. I mean, it is. Everyone will leave Iceland at some point, but if they do win Worlds, it's a win-win for us since, well, Perks is you player, you get it. The pride of LEC, EU's first seed, has not really disappointed us. As our region's last hope to make it out of groups, we have to say that things looked a little bit scary, especially towards the beginning of the game where there was a more clear disadvantage on Mad's side. But this is not to say the game wasn't scary the entire time. It was a back and forth base race type of game where any mistakes made on both sides were heavily punished. Basically, anything could turn the game at that point.
And punished Mad Lions were, as Ahmed gets picked on 45 minutes into the game, and Mad have to defend their base 4 versus 5 against LNG. all eyes on Light's misfortune as he has 6 items onto the champion and 0 deaths for the entirety of the game. On the other side, Mad's rookie Elyoya on an 18-level Kiana having the flank. Elyoya is going to find his mark, making sure that Light loses his guardian angel onto the misfortune, and very crucially, when that happens, Elyoya storms for the base and buys himself a guardian angel. Storming back into the fight, he made sure he puts out as much damage as possible until his guardian angel pops, giving the time to the remainder of the Mad Lions members to finish off the fight, with Kaz's very brave flash forward sealing the deal and shooting Mad Lions straight into the quarterfinals.
And let's not forget Karzi's little gift to AO and Icon, as LNG failed to force their way through Mad Lions' base. Only their top and mid were left, and while the escape attempt did seem convincing as they dashed through the jungle, Mad Lions' bot laner gave them a faster return to their fountain by ulting in the perfect direction at the perfect time. Rest in peace. Well, we hope you've been enjoying Worlds 2021 as much as we have. To keep up with our meme fiesta and our live tweeting, make sure to follow us on Twitter at SKGaming. And if you liked our little video, make sure that you leave us a thumbs up and you subscribe to our channel. This was Lara Lunardi and my lovely analyst, Troubleinc. And yep, this is pretty much it.